Nigeria is a subsidiary of True Sprouts Global Network, a global initiative founded in 2018 and focused on SDG 8. True Sprout Nigeria has, for the past 3 years, it was founded, contributed to global economic growth by expending great resources on social innovation and entrepreneurship. MSMEs, that's medium and small scale enterprises growth and support, and also in career development. Now, with several subsidiaries worldwide, mainly in Africa and in Asia, a global team of leaders, young, innovative, and economy transforming fellows and alumni, the organization has approached the realization of the economy of our dreams. Now, among the subsidiaries of True Sprout Global Network, True Sprout Nigeria was launched in January 2019, followed by True Sprout Ghana in January 2021, and True Sprout Changemakers in March 2021. True Sprout Nigeria has for 2 years fostered Nigeria's network of entrepreneurs, focusing mainly on micro, small, and medium enterprises, economic research, and policy dialogue with key stakeholders across economic sectors in Nigeria. Now, True Sprout Nigeria, through her MSME programs, partners, and collaborations with support groups, investors, and experts who bridge existing economic gaps through financial support for startups, incubation and acceleration programs for young and aspiring entrepreneurs in Nigeria. Now, the main goal of True Sprout Nigeria is to stimulate, support, and equip these micro, small, and medium scale enterprises by helping them to start up, to grow, and to scale and concert their businesses and entrepreneurial endeavors. So to the entrepreneurs in the house, you can see all what True Sprout wants to do. So this means equipping more young entrepreneurs with the right skill sets and providing the right network to flourish. This has resulted in more job creations and economic boost. True Sprout Nigeria has a campus ambassadorship program running across major universities in Nigeria. It seeks to expose undergraduates to relevant entrepreneurial and workspace skills. This is aimed at helping them to be more suitable to get or create decent jobs after graduation. True Sprout Nigeria has its head office in Benin City, Edo State, Nigeria. So I would say a round of applause for True Sprout, but I don't think I can hear you clapping, so that's fine. So you see, this is just a brief rundown on True Sprout Nigeria. So the next thing I'm going to do is to introduce our speaker. I know much time has been spent and we all want to hear our speaker of the day. Before I hand over to him, I'll do a brief introduction of Mr. Scott Peters. Mr. Scott Peters is the founder and a social impact journalist at Talk Active Africa, committed to aiding social impact, visibility for young youth and organizations across Africa. Scott is currently the team lead at Communication Lab, geared towards bridging creativity with professional industries and recently pioneering product communication. A graduate of Product School, California, San Francisco in product management. Scott is also certified in leadership management from the African Leadership Institute in conjunction with the Accra Business School. Scott is a United Nations Young Professional Series alumnus, San Francisco, and an alumnus at the Asia Pacific Center for Education and International Understanding in conjunction with the Ban Ki-moon Center for Global Citizenship. Wow, this is a lot, right? Okay, he's an open source leader with strong passion for volunteering and leadership. He is a global youth ambassador at the World and World Literacy Foundation, where he advocates for quality education, leading conversation and corporate programs. Hosting is a new era he's currently growing in. Sorry, I don't think I read that well. So he said leading conversations and corporate program hosting is a new era he's currently growing in. Now, Scott is a justice at the Supreme Court of the Judiciary, University of Benin, past director of trainings 2019, and current vice president for administration at Junior Chamber International, University of Benin. So I think I can hear a lot of persons saying just one person. Okay, so it's just one person with all this. I already know how much knowledge I'm going to be getting tonight because of all these experiences that Mr. Scott Peters have, gathered. It's so nice to have you here, Mr. Scott. So I'm going to hand over to Mr. Scott right now.
Yeah, all right. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good day to the persons outside the country. Yeah, it's quite exciting time. I kind of waited about 2 weeks. No, 1 full month for today. And I believe, definitely we will have, value. We can definitely assure that. And, they are very familiar with yes, this is the first time kind of special together. And Michael CJ so I believe we'll get into business. And very interestingly, because we topic and lower change,
Hello?
With a lot of
Mr. Scott.
Things.
Okay, so the sound is, the audio is actually cracking. Then please, Michael, please, can you mute your sound? Michael CJ. Okay, thank you very much. So, Mr. Scott, your audio is cracking. I don't know if your network. Okay, maybe you should try turning off your video first. Maybe that will make the sound a bit.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Okay, let me turn off my own video.
You can hear me now,
you
right?
Can turn yours on. Yes, yes, we can hear you now. The sound is clear.
All right. Okay, you can hear me now, right?
Okay, yes, your sound is a lot better now. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right. Okay, so yes, I know been through most of those things don't bio. And what's really left from those things are actually the practical applications of those things to real life experiences. And just as today is expected, it's effective communication of social entry. So yeah, an interesting story. But before then, let's talk about what exactly is social entrepreneurship.
Hello, Mr. Scott. Sorry to cut in. I think we are still having the same issues with the audio.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, I'm hearing you well. I don't know if that's from my end.
So is there anyone hearing?
Can any other person try to confirm?
Okay, maybe turning off your audio might do the trick. Let's see how. Okay.
All right. Okay, I think we'll be fine like this.
Okay, yes, it sounds better.
Okay. All right, no problem. So,
okay,
what exactly is social entrepreneurship? This word just actually came up recently. And I believe every one of us have actually heard those words. And to an extent, we might have, even misused those words. I came to terms with that particular word when I was going through a particular book, Jewish business stuff for mistakes or something like that. So what exactly is social entrepreneurship? And how exactly did social entrepreneurship come about? I may not be able to, grasp or give you all the details immediately, but social entrepreneurship started with Muhammad Yunus. There was a village at some point that was affected by a disaster, and he's very rich though. So he went there And when he got there, he asked to, to do some sort of philanthropy, to give out money to this person to repair their villages. And they were like, no, instead of you giving us money, just lend us the money so that we can repay you. So that was exactly where social entrepreneurship came from. And social entrepreneurship in that sense actually sounds like you are doing charity that gives you a side profit. So that's just the general view of it. And that was exactly what it came about. And he developed Grameen Bank. That's GRAMEEN, Grameen Bank. And from there, social entrepreneurship came up. So, even coming down to today, we've had this particular issue where we are trying to do charity, and as well we're trying to make money. But to be very clear, recently some companies have actually got their way behind that stuff, and they call this particular area corporate social responsibility. So in this case, they now know that, oh, definitely there's a part of our revenue that is supposed to go through to people, as a way of publicity or branding, for the brand. And there's exactly what the stuff is for, what the brand or what the company is actually made for. Yeah, so social entrepreneurship, to break it down, is charity plus profit. You are trying to make the world a better place, and as well trying to make money at the same time. But don't you think that's quite confusing? Yes, I'm actually going to go to the social impact space, most importantly, because I believe that's where most of us are currently, either as students, and there's a fully blown entrepreneurship part. So my first advice for you today is, if you want to make money, if you want to do business, please do business. And if you want to do charity, please do charity, because you'll be caught up in the strings of trying to do charity, pitying the world, and still being careful about making money from them. So be a ruthless money maker or be a ruthless charity giver. So I believe we can actually, place the line between these two things. So moving on. Now, I have had structural problems. And now coming to communication. Communication is actually a very, very important thing. Communication, yes, there's a normal definition of communication to be about, somebody encoding a message, sending it to a particular medium, another person receiving the message and decoding the message and sending a response. Yes, exactly. It's applicable though. That's the basics of what exactly communication is all about. But when communication is coming into brands, that's into an organization, more than 1, 2, 3 persons, then it becomes a structure, it becomes a system that we actually set up. So now, for me, I divide communication into two. There's internal communication and there's external communication. But before we enter into those two, let's try to talk about the first aspect of communication that is required, or that is exactly needed before one actually ventures out. And that's the intrapersonal communication. Sometimes the way our minds process information from our thought, consciousness, relate it with the world, then you try to create something physical. When you have a thought in your mind, then you put it through processes to make it visible. That's like you carry out a project. Yes, you've actually communicated something from your mind to the physical. That's communication within you. That's communication within you. But other forms of communication that is existing between you and your team members. Now, that particular type of communication is actually within the organization, I believe you get. So now, what exactly is internal and what exactly is external? Now, internal communication is actually focused on the interactions within the team member, within the members of your team. That's exactly what internal communication in an organization is supposed to be about. But where exactly does it start from? Your mission, vision, objectives. And I will explain why I failed. Is it in 2019? Since 2019, yes, 2019, first half of 2020, yes. So Talk Active Africa, I started Talk Active Africa using I used to hold monthly trainings then. I did it for 1 year from 2018. I had 1 year trainings every month, every month, every month. So after every month, I dissolved the group, I dissolved the group, I dissolved the group. Then particular day, I actually taught again. I'm like, okay, Talk Active Africa, I went to revisit the objective. Okay, why exactly did I start this thing? I said I actually wanted to give people platform. That's what I wrote down in my diary. Then I noticed what I was doing was not really tallying. They were like, okay, Scott, how exactly do we improve this brand? Then what I did was, that was a very big error, even if to an extent it kind of thrived, but it was a very grave error. Then we created other brands on board. We created other brands, about 5. So we made Talk Active Africa like the mother brand. Yes, we Talk Active Africa, the mother brand. Then we had Talk Active series and some other areas that were, still focusing on other social impact ventures. We had one focusing on education, another one focusing on girl child, another one focusing on bridging social vices with, I think, with the gospel, something like that. Then we had another one. I'm trying to remember the last one. There was always a last one I do always forget. So then it was quite a lot of work, though it was very efficient. I was running 5 teams of about 7 persons.
Wow.
In total, yes. Okay,
No, sorry, go
so
on.
yeah. So in total, I had about 27 volunteers. And I was like, wow. I just sent out a form and I got over 30 something persons wanting to volunteer. They're like, okay, definitely. It means I've been doing quite a reasonable number of things during the time I was running it alone. So when we got those persons on board, I did my best as a single, innocent, young leaders at then managing 27 persons. When I checked later on, when everything went down, I checked one person on the group. I was like, I kind of overstepped boundaries. Sure, you get. So, what exactly happened? We ran first month, second month, excellent structuring, like it was properly structured. Okay, when you want to do something, you do it like this. There's a time frame for design or to come up with your idea, and it was going well. Then to an extent, about maybe the third month, I think about March in 2020, then persons were kind of, maybe we're supposed to hold a class by maybe July 31st, and they are just struggling to design the flyer July 30 and pushing out publicity. So things started lagging actually. Then you ask for opinions, nobody on the group is talking. I believe some persons have that issue. No, I really, in the beginning, I wanted to ask about possibly those of us that have organizations that are running NGOs or running social impact organizations, or some of your challenges. We're going to talk about that later. Because this session is actually for all of us. So I just want to do a brief intro and we get there. So now nobody's answering, only one person is answering. And I noticed the one person that was answering was my friend since 100 level, that we kind of bonded well with this particular vision. Because I remember when I wanted to upgrade, I told her first. But others were not responding. You are asking, okay, what exactly you have a plan or you have a project that you want us to carry out. And nobody's really giving you opinions. Those kind of stuff you want to carry your team along. When you're doing the democratic system, where you want to carry your team along, and they are not following you. So for that, some brands, some sub brands did not work again. Everything was just dying. Then I was there running only my own Talk Active series, which I've been doing since. Then I got to a point I got tired as well. Then I had to do evaluations. And like, why exactly did I fail? I asked myself this particular question. How many of my team members can you just randomly accost or get them on the street and ask them what is the mission of this organization, and they'll tell you straight? Or how many of them actually know the vision of the organization or even the objective of the organization. So I nearly got depressed then because I was very, very down. Then after I came up with this quote, I came up with this line. I was like, no one, it only takes visionary persons to be as passionate as a visionary. So how exactly do you make people passionate? You have to communicate your mission, the vision, or the objective you are trying to create. And the next step after doing that is you have to help them find themselves in that mission or in that vision or whatever you are trying to do, so that it should not look like they are coming to work or they are coming to doing a job. They have to do something that they love. That's where everything now became clear to me. Like, okay, the mistake I made was I did not communicate to 26 persons or about 25 persons that this is exactly what we are supposed to be doing, or this is exactly what we want to achieve. Yeah, sure you understand. So that was one very grave error. So what happened? The next month, I spoke to, say I had a friend, like an accountability partner, was in Japan. Yeah, then he told me, Scott, you have to close down this team or whatever you have done. If you really want to be serious with yourself, or if you really want to move forward, you have to step down all what you have done. You have to tell these persons. And let me tell you, the hardest thing you can ever do in life, if you have a team, is actually to sack people. Because that's where the place of emotions will come. And yeah, I don't know if you could look at the quality of the persons on those teams. They were excellent people. Like, they were very excellent persons. And I was expecting so much more. So I thought they already knew what they were supposed to do. So that was where the problem was. The problem now, one thing we need to never do is to assume that the persons on our team are what they are supposed to do, or they really know what the organization is about. The fact that somebody is volunteering to join your organization does not really mean they even know what it's about. Even in other organizations I actually belong to, you see, find it hard for some persons to really flow along with the organization because they do not really know what exactly the organization is established. That's one. And two, they've not really aligned their goals to that organization. Yes. So, end of story. I dissolved that group. I dissolved everything. Then I said, then I came up with another idea. I'm like, okay, I want to venture into a new area. And I need persons that will volunteer for this. I posted it on the group. Believe me, 27 persons read my message. They opened it. Only the person that had been very serious and responding said, I will. Then many 27 did not say anything. Like, they did not say anything. And meanwhile, I exhausted every leadership communication method. I went online. I searched for things. I read, like, how exactly am I supposed to revitalize these persons? But down the drain. So when I wanted to launch Talk Active Africa as a social impact visibility aiding brand, I specifically messaged the persons and told them exactly why we are venturing into this particular area, explaining the mission, the vision, and the objective. Then later on, I had to do in-calls, spoke to each person personally, each team member, and asked them what exactly have they found. Now, let me tell you something before we go explicit into the internal and external communication thing. One very important thing within your team is you need to understand that these people, they are humans and their desire can change. Just like you, tomorrow you may dislike eating a bar. From tomorrow, and your mom is like, it was your best food yesterday, and like, people change though. So sometimes the volunteers you recruited in January that were having passions for writing, content creation, for helping children, it may get to March, April, possibly through what you expose them to through your organization, and they have changed. Maybe somebody's not liking clean water, someone is liking SDG, liking education, or no poverty, or food availability and the like, then what you are doing is you are doing environmental cleanliness or sustaining cities and the like. So you see that your volunteers or your team members have actually drifted from that.
Yeah.
So now, how exactly do you remedy this thing? The best way to remedy that case is you do periodic checks on your team members. Ask them what exactly have they started loving now. The things they have dropped, the new areas they have started loving, and the newer areas they are seeing themselves in. It helps you adjust their perspectives, help you adjust their interests to your objective. So that's exactly where team building comes in, where everything gets interesting. Why? Because you are moving with your team members. We're not saying you every time you bend your objectives for the people as if you are begging them. No, no, no. But for dedicated persons, to an extent, you need to find how you still keep these people. It's still retention. They are volunteers, they can go at any time. And as well, you have to be doing well, that you've tried, you know you are right for. You know, sometimes some of us leaders, we or change makers, we expect a lot because we feel we are also giving a lot. But the first point of understanding is that everybody is not like you. Nobody is as passionate as you are. You are the one that started whatever you are doing. The other person just sees what you are doing, they see what you are doing, and they like it, and they see themselves in it. So that's why I said with time, people can actually change, and they can be liking another thing, and they are giving you attitude. And you as an individual, you've not created the platform or the avenue for these persons to communicate with you. Yes, after 1 year Talk Active Africa, some of my team members, they were like, okay, Scott, it's time for us to leave. And I was very excited, very satisfied, because I know that these persons, they found themselves fulfilled through the organization. They learned, they grew. So for them to say they want to leave, I'm even happy that, okay, now these persons can actually apply what they've learned in where they are going to. Sure, you understand? So sometimes you don't need to keep the whole world in your, on board. You just need to let persons go so that the newer persons can also grow. You need to let some persons go so newer persons can grow. So now that's how I solved my internal problems. Even recently, I did the same call again. I called everybody, called each person on the team. Okay, how are you doing? I'm just checking up on you. I'm not talking about the job you did not do. I'm not talking about the design you've not sent. I'm not talking about the video you've not edited. I'm not talking about the new letter you've not written. I just want to check on you. Okay, how are you doing? And the like. If you try to bring up work, I'll be like, I am calling you. This call is about you. So yes, there's the interpersonal place. You need to know your members outside. And I'm a graphic designer at Talk Active Africa, or I'm a content writer at Talk Active Africa. You need to know these persons outside, this area. What exactly do they do? What exactly do they like? Because in acknowledging what they love, you keep them to yourself. And that's why if you see that to an extent, that makes people find it hard to leave you. Find it hard to leave you. So now, let's go to common communication problems. Now, common communication problems first among teams. Among teams. Now, when you send out, I believe we are together. If we are together, please type together, please. Thank you. Please, thank you. If we are together, please type together. And from it, I also love to get updates exactly when I'm close to 40 minutes or 30 minutes, so that we can actually talk about people here. Yes, we need to talk about people.
Okay, sir. No problem.
Yeah. So now, common communication problems. Common communication problems. One, the fact that you need people does not mean you should not do what is right. Ask questions. Why exactly do you want to join this team? Why exactly do you want to join the team? And should in case we don't accept you, what do you do? You know, these things actually sound like very common interview questions that we just feel we can just ask and that's it. It's just a formality. No. How many years are you going to volunteer with us? In that case, you know why? You need to ask questions like that. How many months or how many years are you going to volunteer with this organization? 6 months, 1 year, over 1 year, 2 years, and so on. So that why you as a leader or a change maker can actually fast track the person. Okay, but at the end of 6 months, this person is leaving this organization. What will this person say outside? What am I loading this person with, to interact with the person outside? So that's one very simple thing. Let your team members, your volunteers, or even you as an individual, as a volunteer, you need to time track your space in an organization. Yeah, you have to do that. You have to time. I'm staying in this organization for 1 year. I'm staying in this organization for 6 months. So you can achieve your goals in line with the organization's goals. So from there, you know that, yes, I've done my job. It's time to pen down and you move on. Because sometimes we understand things like elasticity limit, Hooke's law. When you overstretch or you overstress, when the stress gets towards the strain and everything breaks, then I don't even know why you're stretching again. We should not overstretch things or overstretch durations that we begin to lose value, that we begin to enter the law of diminishing returns. You are trying to. It's just like when you eat golden morn, one bowl, and you are urged to eat or pressure to eat another one because it's very sweet. And most times, most of us regret eating golden morn the second time after the first time because it's like you've lost the vibe and you just have to finish it. You just have to finish it. So you need to time yourself. Time your volunteers in your organization. Time them. If you've forgotten, go back to the forms that they filled. That's why it's a form anyway, so that you can get quality information on the entry point in your organization. So that's one. One common communication problem is time duration. How long am I staying here? Or how long are you going to stay with us? That's one. Then next is clarity of the organization, your brand story. Have you communicated why exactly did you start to these persons? Yeah, why exactly did you start? These persons need to be able to explain this organization without you. Because the first set of brand ambassadors of your organization are your team members. They're actually your team members. They're your first brand ambassadors. So if somebody is seeing somebody outside, one of your team members, and asking, what is Grameen NGO? And the person is like, well, I don't know what we are doing. We're just doing, we're taking dirt off the street. We are jogging and cleaning the street. And it's not clear. It's not clear. So let persons understand the brand story. Why exactly is this brand existing? And see, don't be scared to even time the duration for the brand. Yeah, you can say, okay, I'm running this NGO or this program for 5 years. And then your 5 years, you hit your targets, you hit your goals, and that's it. It's as simple as that. Okay, next is what other common communication problems do we have among teams? The problem of interpersonal communication. Everybody just knows Sade as designer. Oh, Frank is the one that writes content, right? Oh, this person. Then when you're holding meeting, it looks like you are holding one masquerade festival where you're like, Sade, have you spoken to Frank about this thing? You're like, I spoke to Frank. Frank did not answer me. Why will Frank not answer you as a team member? Or why will communication among your team member be dying? Like, I don't understand. Some of us feel we need to work. Yes, too many targets to hit out there, the week, and and the likes. In Talk Active Africa, what we do in our monthly general meetings, the first section is, we call it catching up. Every person talks about their challenges, their progress, whatever has been wrong with them for one full month. Throughout, just explain, okay, this month I've been doing this. It helps to promote conversations. The team members actually understand the welfare of each other. So if I want to strike a conversation with you, I'll pick it from, wow, your exams that you said you had issues with then, how did it go? Because for communication to actually thrive, we all need to find common ground. And that is why you'll be able to network with somebody in this place. Why? Because everybody came here to learn effective communication for social entrepreneurs. So in that case, each of us can relate with each other from this subject. Then from this subject, we take ourselves to other areas that we are involved in. So if there are no common grounds, then I don't know where we are going to land. That's exactly, if we say in the Bible, when he sent Abraham, is it Noah? Noah sent the bird out to check whether the land was dry. There was no common ground. So the stuff came back. So the communication is very, very important among your team members. It just brings a sort of vibe and energy. When everybody's happy interacting with each other, you feel fulfilled. You feel fulfilled. Test run your plans. Test run these programs that you want to do. Test run it internally on the evaluation and the feedback. Then yes, another communication problem among teams is evaluations. Now this evaluation part will actually take us to the external part. I think I forgot one particular point, but I believe I should remember. That point is interesting. My mind is telling me I forgot it. I remembered. Okay, now let's go to the external part of communication. Now, this external part of communication is a communication that's existing between you and your external audience. Now, let's start with you want to host a program. Yes, let's use that one. You always feel dejected that only one or two persons join your live show. You feel tired, you feel not fulfilled. And you're like, I'm just trying for the past 5 months, only just 2 persons. Look at my friend, 15 persons are joining. Are you doing exactly what your friend is doing? 1, most persons have more interest in what your friend is doing than what you're doing. 2, and the truth is that the fact that 15 persons are attending what your friend is doing and only 1 person is listening to you does not mean there are no 100 persons out there that are waiting for you. So this is not some sort of motivation, but to tell myself, when I used to host programs, that to tell myself that my audience, I need to focus on the external audience. I call them external audience. Persons out of my WhatsApp, even possibly explore newer social media ventures that are applicable to what exactly you are doing. You cannot say you want to do, you want to be selling shoe. Like the way they sell it on WhatsApp statuses, the way they'll post 100 shoes. You want to post 100 shoes on LinkedIn and somebody will be happy on LinkedIn and someone will tell you, let me see that shoe. LinkedIn is not really about, business to a very, very large extent. When you get on LinkedIn, you see the social responsibility part of most businesses, most of the time. Okay, this is what Coca-Cola has been able to do in 270 countries. MTN has been partnering with World Health Organization to provide hearing aids for children. All those kind of interesting stuff. Because it is what these persons do that brings more persons to the organization. So now, for the art of external communication, you don't expect that everybody knows what you're doing. And that was why I told myself again. I said, Scott, nobody will run to you today because you did not tell them you were starting yesterday. The whole world will not run to you today because you did not tell them you were starting yesterday. Imagine you launching a new organization tomorrow. You did not tell me. How do you expect me to know? You are supposed to carry me through the process of familiarization with that brand. How? By talking about it on your social media. If you can brand materials like a shirt or you are talking, see, what you always talk about, people will notice. I never knew people knew about Talk Active Africa in my class until one day somebody drew the logo, the Ed logo, and snapped it and sent it to the class group and tagged me. I'm like, what? So person actually paying attention. The truth is, person are paying attention. If you like, have only 2 likes on your Facebook post, 100 persons have seen it. You will see even LinkedIn will tell you 168 views on this post. But how many persons clicked like? 2. See, I don't want us to even talk about LinkedIn for the communication part, because I feel LinkedIn is more psychological. Most persons feel down and dejected when they post their stuff on LinkedIn, and yeah. So let's not go to LinkedIn. Let's not go to LinkedIn. So now, how exactly do you carry people along with what you do? How exactly? It's gradually, just talk about it. Be your first brand ambassador. Carry your brand like it's just it. It's just only it. Like, I don't know how some persons, do their brand. So our next time, my name is Talk Active Africa in my class. They say, that Talk Active, Talk Active. They're like, Scott, talk. Exactly did I, begin. Sounds like failure when you are doing things, only 2 persons are following or 3 persons are listening. Now, one simple question I ask myself then is that, okay, when you come out of the streets or when you move towards people, what exactly do you want to come to the mind of these persons when they first see you? What should people think about when they see you? Once they see you, anytime I see Amarachi Sonway or Babatunde Bill, I just see retina. It's straight. Is the truth. Straight up. I see straight. When that flyer actually came out, with him Promise, this Truth Sprout flyer. Anytime I remember Promise, 30 straight up. So you need to implant these ideologies in the mind of these persons unconsciously. Let them remember what you do. And how you like it is a lie. 99 in the shotgun. How exactly you pick up a gun? You say you cock the gun. When you do that, maybe in a place like a Kosodin, you see 720 persons have moved like, what's about to come? The gun. Some persons will still be asking you what exactly is going on. You did not get those persons' attention. Now, when you rack the shotgun, that is by talking about what you are doing, by posting what you do, it's called racking the shotgun. Maybe 20, 30 persons like your post, and you have 250 very active followers on Facebook. The remaining 220, it means that you need to work on getting the attention of the remaining 220. It means that the 30 persons that are following you, they now know what you are doing. So your attention is to now look for how to bring these persons to where you are. Yeah, you have to work on those things. And, trying other ventures, expanding the audience and the likes. Then another thing is brand color. Yes, your brand color is very, very important. So we don't go to your media and do, I was seeing green today, or indigo tomorrow, red next tomorrow, blue. For me, I will not post. I will not just post your flyer. Yeah, it's the truth. I cannot be posting True Sprout Africa and the next flyer. Like, when I was considering preparing a slide, I wanted to ask for the color code of Truth Sprout. I wanted to ask for the color code so that I will use the color codes to prepare my slide. So you're not seeing that slide, and I'm bringing rainbow color, to present. It kind of disconnects people. Even as a last, the director of publicity in JCI, I'm seeing the director of publicity as vice president administration. So we sent out a couple of flyers regarding recruitment and the likes. So he sent me one flyer, like, oh, he just designed this one. The previous flyers. So, he was just trying to be creative with that flyer. Like, this flyer is a hit. Then he was like, okay, this is a flyer. I just think we should send it. I'm like, no, we cannot send this one. This one is yellow and black. That one is blue and white. So if you want us to send out this flyer, you must convert the colors to that color. So when you want to communicate, essentially, please, your brand colors are very, very important. You may try to play around with other colors, like mixing them, but your brand colors are, if it's blue, if you go to Talk Active Africa, you either see blue, orange, blue, orange, blue, orange, white, blue, orange, white. We just even start adding some other colors. Yes, blue, orange, white. That's it. That's it. Even for flyers and the like. Just recently we are trying to, improvise. We're adding red itself. Yes. So apart from that, what else for the external communication part? Let us always, when you carry out a project, please always carry out evaluation. Please always carry out evaluation. So when you are planning another project, it's like you are doing a continuous trade from where you stopped. So you know what exactly you are going to solve, some of the problems you are going to avert. Okay, you had a project last month and you want to continue the next one, you want to do another thing. You may face the same problems you had. So if you've not done proper evaluation of the project, okay, how many persons did we reach? Or how many countries did we reach? All those kind of very, very salient analytics. It will help. Very, very, very important. So don't think you have cooked up a very super great project. Like the project that can blow the world, escape velocity project. And when you launch the project, only 2 persons are saying well done when you're expecting 120 comments on your Facebook post. Some of these things actually weigh us down. And that was where I thought of social impact psychology. I've not really personally pushed that out because I know most of us in social impact space, we easily get depressed. Yes, maybe you've applied 25 rejection mails and you are still trying to struggle with a team. And from struggling with a particular team, they are not still working well. And you feel dejected that your identity is going down the drain. I think a lot. So when I was in that particular situation too, I told myself, Scott, up and not doing is past glory. Yes, you may have the fame. It's just like Lionel Messi losing his football skills now. They'll not be revering him because Lionel Messi, because he has done something in the past. But of today, no standing is the truth. So that I said, up and not doing is past glory. You have to be functional. And how to be functional is in effective communication from your mind to the physical, from yourself to your team members, and from your team to the world. So please always do proper evaluation. And I think lastly, we need to talk about negotiation. Yes, negotiation. But before we talk about negotiation, one thing I want us to understand, I know some of us used to organize trainings for our team members. Excellent. But to an extent, I want you, possibly if you have done that, you might go back to make a review on this. Why? You check out the project you want to carry out. You evaluate the skills that are required to carry out that project. For a new project, you may require a cinematographer or a videographer or someone that does Corel Draw, that needs Corel Draw. The project needs Corel Draw, or it needs what's this video app using this Premiere Pro. You sure you understand? I believe you understand that. So you need to evaluate what the future project needs. What does the objective of this organization, what are the skills that it requires? Then you teach your members, you teach your team members these things. That's another form of communication. Like, okay, in the future, I will need you guys to use Excel for evaluating this project, or we need to calculate or project for the future. We need to do or compile information. In that case, you are preparing your team members for future. See, for the future, most of these communication they seem to be abstract and they are psychological in nature. Yes, because you do not just come up with a new project and say, we need to do this. Everybody get to work. If you say everybody get to work, you will work to get them to do the job. Because one, they may not require skill. So that's why we're planning project too. I'm like, okay, I've spoken with Nifemi, I've spoken with Mercy. I've told Mercy what to do, told Ryan what to do. I've discussed with Gospel to organize the people. There's one person that organizes the people to do the job. There's another person that reaches out to external persons. There's another person that creates the content. There's another person that designs it. You can see how efficient things will be when people are in their area of strength. Yes, there are other areas where you need to communicate to your team members or to yourself that you need to grow. So you now, okay, let me try out this. Before, I never, ever, ever had the courage to speak, yes, to talk, because, okay, it's been 40 minutes already. It's about 10 minutes left. All right, thank you so much. Okay, so to round it up, the aspect of negotiation is actually very, very important. I believe everybody needs to learn that skill. You need to be able to negotiate excellently. Because how exactly do you get the required fund for your organization? How do you pitch your organization? How do you pitch your plans? How exactly do you pitch your business plan and whatever? Yes, so negotiation is a very, very important skill that we all need to go and learn. We always do not put it in consideration. But in the future, you may want somebody to partner with an organization abroad. I need to be able to tell these persons what you need to offer. We get on or stuck when you are talking with, okay, I want to partner with this organization, and they're asking you, what exactly can you do for us? Then that's where you have the issue. Because the first thing you're always seeking is possibly money. But in marketing, there's a place where you can exchange materials for money. You exchange services in place for money. So now you may need a table from one so-called organization. And what you do is corporate training. You need a table for your training, or for a carpenter. What you just do, you offer to train their people for free to get the table for free. So the aspect of negotiation actually very, very vital in impact, in communication. So I don't know, I just want to try my video can come on. So yes, so the aspect of negotiation is very, very important. So please let everybody learn negotiation excellently. Please go and learn on negotiation. And lastly, before we go to the question thing, I remember what I said, I forgot. When you are hosting maybe a discussion among your team members, always speak last. Yes. You know why? Please start sending your questions. Some of your challenges, during, if you're a leader or even as part of a team member, between you and your leader, so we can try to help you remedy, because communication is actually two-way. Your leader might be doing it all right, and you're the one that is not getting the information. You're not getting the signal. Yeah, it happens like that. Or you are doing it so right and he's not getting it, or she's not getting it. Two-way. So now, remember, in a meeting, you as the leader that is bringing the vision or whatever should always speak last. Why? It encourages innovation. You are trying to communicate to this person that you trust them, that you trust them so well. Yeah. So please always speak last. So like, want to work on a project. You as a project director, please, sir, rest. Don't give all the insights. When you now ask Mercy, what do you think? Mercy will say, I go with what Scott said. If I say, I go with what Scott said. And in that case, there's no progress at all. No progress at all. You are now left with that worst possible idea that you have developed. Ideas comes in different form. Worst possible idea? Okay, what's the least way we could actually do these things? But in interacting with your team members, you begin to develop more and more. Just encourage them. Even if you're asking, okay, how exactly do we clean the whole of Lagos? If one person is saying by buying broom, please acknowledge that idea. You can upgrade it to getting vacuum cleaners, or to partnering with who will provide vacuum cleaners, or do vacuum cleaner usage education. Yeah, so some of this is very, very vital. Please always speak last, so that when you now talk, you would also get insight from what they've said, then you can apply. So yeah, questions. Anybody, team members, leaders, What exactly, how has it
Please
been?
scan.
What
Please scan.
exactly are your
Put
challenges? And
documents. I'm scanning to send to DM. To the data
yeah,
manager for approval.
I not get. What did
Okay,
she
hello,
say?
Mr. Scott. I'm thinking that was a mistake. I think she mistakenly muted her mic. So please, if you have any questions, like Mr. Scott said, please start sending them in. If you would like to ask
Okay.
directly, you can just unmute your mic and
Yes,
speak
please.
directly. Yes, if
Somebody
you'd
asked
like
what
to.
something. Okay. What tools can be used to evaluate impact? Very simple. One is called scalability. Scalability, that's SCALABILITY. It measures how far your project went. And you can track that from your social media posting. I may not be really able to give you explicit tools directly. It's something you can search. You can ask for maybe tools to, okay, yeah. You can search like, okay, tools to measure rate of registrations. Like bit.ly actually does that. For you to track, the regions that your registration link went to, the number of persons that clicked it, and so on and so forth. Yes. So, but some of the parameters to measuring this thing, because before you actually need a tool, you need to understand what you need to measure so that you can know the exact tool to measure. You might need a tool. Okay, what tool am I supposed to use to measure scalability? So now the first step is scalability. How far did this project go? This project go beyond Nigeria and so on and so forth. You check. You can track your links. bit.ly, that's bit.ly, actually gives you the opportunity to do that. You track your link in that regard. So you see number of clicks, number of impressions, and so on. You can even check if you have Twitter, even though it's now banned. Facebook, you can check engagement. Like when we post talk activations every Tuesday, we check. How many? Okay. Yes. Somebody said, how do I get my team more involved in the organization? Let them see themselves in the organization. What exactly are their skills? What exactly do they love doing? You need to create the avenue for them. Now, let me cite one example. Okay, one day on Talk Active Africa, we were preparing the schedule for the week, and the person preparing the schedule said, Monday, post this, Tuesday, talk activation, Wednesday, for our personal self. Yes. Wednesday was for our personal self. Thursday, this. Then I was like, excuse me. Wednesday is not for our personal self. Wednesday is like every other day that's for everybody. You cannot say for our personal self. It means you are trying to tell them you are tying them to the organization. On Monday, you won't think about anything. It's Talk Active Africa, you should come and work. Or it's Communication Labs, you should come and be designing for. No. You need to make this person understand that, okay, see, for this organization, this is the amount of time. You will check some applications. You will see how many hours do you want to volunteer per week. Some of these may require, a larger extent for you to track. But it's very important. If you can build yourself to track, okay, you've worked 2 hours, you fulfilled your 2-hour per week assignment or alignment. But some of us, we just feel that this social impact thing is a full-time job. No, it's a part-time job. Because if you ask me to write a content, I will most likely prepare the content in my free time. Unless there's a whole lot of pressure. I remember when I was writing content for EBL 2.0, the local organization president then went enter my DM and say, by 4 a.m. Scott, content for EBL. I have to immediately provide it. There's nothing like give me 5 minutes. You are typing, we are sending this upload by 6. So whatever creativity block now to block your head or block it,
Hello,
that's
Mr. Scott.
actually the training period.
Oh. Okay.
Yes.
Your audio, we can't really hear you so well. Your audio was just breaking up.
Wow.
Okay.
All
I
right.
think it's better
So
now.
I said you need to make them understand that it's not a full-time job. They are not suspending
Yes.
their lives because they are volunteering with you. 1. 2, let them understand what exactly is this organization about. I remember when I and Messi were talking, Messi was, when we were talking about setting up this program and this session and likes, I had to ask, please, what's the name of the founder of this organization? So to understand, I can search online, and if I want to relate to the person, I know where exactly I'm relating from. I know what it does, and I can easily get his attention like that. So now when persons understand what you are doing, what the organization is about, you are promoting interpersonal relationships, then I don't think there's really an issue. Yes, we can actually not be perfect. We should also know when to retrench persons. When we did volunteer recruitment, I told them we are going to put you on probation for one or 2 months. At the end of 2 months, the person that were not performing, we reach out to them. The probation period is over. You have not performed well. And some person were like, I really want to be in the organization. You really want to be in an organization, but you're not willing to learn about the organization. That's wrong. So that's why I said the hardest thing to do is actually to sack people. But I have learned that one. I've learned that one already. I can sack anybody. And in that case, it actually helps us to be able to, to prepare for when people want to pull out of the organization. So you are strong enough, to do that. So please let your members or let your team members understand why exactly you are starting. Communicate your challenges. I remember when I was talking to Talk Out Africa members again. Sorry, I used Talk Out Africa. Very important. That's my starting point. So we're talking, and I told them, like, see, guys, when you guys were on the low, when most of us were choked with exams and so on, see, I felt like a failure, like I could not manage my team again. I was so down, but I knew I had to give you guys your chance, your space, and all that. Yes, they understand. Definitely. So Scott can be vulnerable. Yes, I am vulnerable. Please, I'm not a log of wood or the like. So in that case, even Druka, they were like, oh, those kind of stuff. Like, oh, you guys keep quiet. So yeah. So once you communicate strength as a leader, also communicate vulnerability. So this person can even know when you need help. Yes. In that case, you are drawing them to the organization. Please, more questions, please. Thank you. Share possibly your challenges and so on and so forth. Let's talk about them, please.
Please keep sending in more questions.
I have a question.
Okay, please go on, please.
Okay, good evening, everybody. I'm
Good
Victoria.
evening.
Mr. Scott, thank you so much. Your session has been really, really impactful. Well, I
I'm
want to
kneeling down.
buttress on one of the questions that was asked earlier, though you touched it a bit concerning how you can get people to be more involved in the organization. Now, as the country director, currently the country director of True Sprouts in Nigeria, one of the challenges we have is not that the people cannot perform. It's not that they are not performing the roles that are suited for them, for, will I say, their personalities or what they really love doing. That is not the issue here. The issue here sometimes is that of taking on responsibility, and it's saddening in the sense that this person can actually perform. That person's worth. As an organization, it's good to acknowledge and appreciate people's worth. That person's worth. That this person can really deliver on this particular subject or area of work, but just
Yeah.
because of some lack of responsibility on the part of the person, not that you are overburdening the person, so to say, but
Yeah.
just a lack of responsibility. So in that kind of case, what will be your advice? Is it just to lay off the person, like tell the person to leave the organization, or how do you manage
Just
someone
wait.
that
Is it?
is really
Wait, sorry. You said.
talented but
Is it
not
just to what?
responsible? I said, is it just to lay off the person, or what do you do in this kind of case? Like, how do you manage somebody that you know is of high value to the organization, but just lacks responsibility, so to say?
Okay, that's quite interesting because we've been in that situation before. Yes. Now, first, the person is not taking responsibility. It means the other responsibility because one, you understand that the person is actually capable before. And the person's life does not revolve around only the organization. There are other factors that are, it can be that the person is facing some financial problems and the person will not tell you. And some persons can be so funny and be like, they are personal. So when they say they are for personal reasons, I'm going through some things, but they are personal. So when the person say personal, they've put an embargo between the discussion within yourselves, and you cannot go further and like, okay, what's really wrong with you? So now in this particular case, what you need to make the person understand their potential in carrying out that responsibility. One, I know you talked about it that, okay, so I said the acknowledgement and all that. So persons may not want acknowledgement. Now you in this case, what you do is you create a development opportunity. Okay, at the end of this program, you're carrying out this program, this particular project or this task, these are the things you will get to learn. And again, some persons are actually scared, thinking that they are the only ones that will carry out that thing. So what are we supposed to do next? I'm still talking about the processes. Then the aspect of the laying off and other things, we're going to get it too. So now, the next thing is, okay, you are not the only one doing everything. These are the relevant areas to the project you're trying to carry out. Then you have the person, you could discuss the challenges too. Okay, these are the challenges that may actually come up. Okay, what do you think might be your challenges and the likes? You every person trash out these challenges. Then in that case, the person is as free as a bird. Then you are the one pushing the person forward and the person is doing the job. Yes, that was a misconception I had. I thought everybody understood fully, like, okay, these persons are capable, then they should be able to do anything. Then I'm like, okay, you're supposed to do this, carry out this thing. Then I leave them because I don't really want to bother them because I believe they can do it. And I come after 1 week, 2 weeks, I have no response. And they're now scared to report to you because they feel they have failed. And they know that they are capable, but something just happened along the way. So you need to help this person trust the child. No matter how old the person may be in the organization, the person still has fears. The person still has fears. So you need to discuss explicitly. Always discuss with your team members. Why exactly are we assigning this stuff to you? Okay, these are the challenges that you might face. And in case there are further challenges, let's talk about them. Oh, these are the areas or these are the people you might need. You may need this particular app to do this because sometimes maybe the tools or the resources that the person does not have to carry out the project. And the person is there typing on Google, how do I bring John Maxwell to Truth Sprout next month session? The person does not know that, okay, the person does not really know, maybe there's network, you have to network your way up there. Or how do I enter John Maxwell Leadership Academy? I have somebody on my contact that is John Maxwell Leadership Academy person. And I told the woman, when I want to get into that academy, I'm going to come through you. She's like, okay, fine. So now we need to help this person put these persons through. Once they feel they are scared, it means that they do not really trust themselves to deliver fully that capacity. And sometimes some other areas are affecting these persons. So you need to thoroughly trash out, okay, sometimes just talk about the family. It's not every time you go to somebody because you're a team member and you talk about the person carrying out a job. Let's talk about your family. Okay, what do you like? The person feels more interested. And when you're bringing work, the person cannot run. The person cannot run. So yeah, you need to let them understand that you are also you are pushing their limits. Just be as free as, like, let's just be so free about these things, and everybody just finds joy in delivering service. I believe and then the part of laying off, when it gets to a stage where you discuss about laying off somebody with the person, as I said, we need to start having courage. Okay, I think you need you started liking this newer area. I think we need to give you a chance to focus on this thing. That was exactly what happened. I had a very strong volunteer, and she was like, Scott, I'm not really feeling fulfilled again. And I'm like, I'm noticing it too. I think you should try. I advise somebody, like, I think you should try this. You've done your best. Please go and leave the rest. Sure, you understand? So we need to help them find their happiness And when we feel we want to lay them off, let's tell them, let's discuss with them. We want to lay you off. Do you think it will be good for you? And yeah.
Thank you very much, sir.
So I think that's it. Any other questions?
Okay, we can have just one more question.
Oh, this is 8:23. Wow.
Yes, already. So we can have one more question, please. So if you want to ask a question, you can just unmute your mic and speak, or you can type it out on the chat section. Okay. Okay, well, if there's no more question, I have one, Mr. Scott. So I've come to realize that most times in organizations that I would say, okay, there are like roughly two kinds of people. The people who know the work that has to be done, and then there are the people who you have to push to get the work to be done. So my question is that for those who you have to push to get the work done, do you have to continuously keep doing that because you know that they can't get the work done, but they need a little push to get the work done? Is it that you have to now, how would I put it now? You have to adjust to that pattern of pushing them to always get the work done because they can, but just that they need that push.
Okay, thank you. The funny aspect is everybody that on a team can actually get the work done.
Okay.
But just like you said, they do not want to get the job done. And yeah, some person, you need to push them to get the job done because they've not really seen themselves in the organization. Yes, we had an incident. It's not an incident. Wow, what quality of adjective did I just use? We had, like you say, a situation. A new member, a new volunteer was chatting with me. He wanted to create a video slide. Then it was like, please send me your logo. When he said send me your logo, I'm like, my logo? I'm like, okay, I will send our logo to you. So in that case, I kind of corrected something without lashing out. Like, why is not supposed to be like, why you say your logo? Isn't our organization?
Yeah.
The person I'm actually not seeing himself. And for that person, you have the person is not seeing it as his own.
True.
Yet. The person is not seeing it as his own yet. So you need to, it's conscious follow-up. Okay, how far have you done this stuff? Okay, what do you think we can add? You need to get more opinions from these persons. They need to feel important. You know why? See, people actually, they learn, they study in the team. I'll give another, see, it's just like many things have happened in this country of Africa. Let me tell you one, in line with this, one person out of maybe excitement or I don't know, he posted, he ranked, list of active members. Number 1, Shade, 2, Shalom, 3 for the week. I was like, hello, sorry, we don't rank ourselves here. I don't understand. So in that case, the person did not even put himself first 3. Forget the fact of like maybe not trying to be humble and the likes. The person communicated immediately. I picked it like Scott. Some persons, it seems some persons are doing more work than some persons that makes them feel more excellent than them. So in that case, they know that, oh, these persons these people are boss. We were just following. Then in that case, you need to know that these people have not really seen themselves in the organization. They don't feel there's persons who can just pick at any time. Like, okay, I don't think, okay, this person is occupied. Okay, you come. No. So first, what do you do for all those kind of persons? You need to carefully follow them up. Okay, you are supposed to do this. You have not done this. Another thing is you set monthly, weekly tasks. You can say, okay, this week we are doing this. You mention their name. Okay, you, this is what you are doing. You, this is what you are doing. Then you assign another person to follow everybody up. My social media handle. Okay, I'll give you that after I answer the question. So yes, you can set weekly tax for this person. You can tell them, okay, you are putting them on probation. Let them know that this is a serious business. Yes, we can, because they are volunteers and we're trying to keep them, does not mean we should over pamper them. It does not mean anybody that is here, we don't need our leaders to over pamper us if we're serving any capacity. Yes, it's very, very important. We don't need them to over pamper us. Let us also know when we are supposed to deliver. You know, sometimes an organization, I'll be like, Scott, you've not really given this organization attention. I think this week I'll dedicate my time for this stuff. So for those persons, like we said, be frank. Okay, you've not really been, what's up? You get from the advantage and the likes, here you get. So
Yes, sir.
yeah. So my social media handle remains my full name, Scott Peter Setepo on Facebook. That's
Okay, please
separately.
be sure to follow him on all. Okay.
Then Scott Peter Setepo together on Instagram. Then Scott Peter Setepo separately on LinkedIn. And I know if you want my number, maybe you can post it for them. I would
Okay.
love to talk with people. Yeah. My number is 090. I think I want to use the chat function. 09037101858. 090 37101858. 09037101858. Is that correct? Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
You can share my contact with them on the group.
Yes,
Yeah.
we'll drop it on the WhatsApp group as well.
Yeah. So
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate. I really appreciate.
It's
Yeah,
been
because
such a pleasure having you.
yeah, this is like first time I'm hosting, like I'm actually speaking after 1 year. I have not done any live session since last year, August. So like this is the first
Oh,
time.
wow.
Very interesting.
And
Yeah,
it has
so
actually been very interesting.
yeah, it's really nice to be here. Thank you so much, Truth Sprout. Thank you, Promise. Thank you, Mercy. Thank you,
Thank
every
you
single
so
person,
much. Thank you
joined.
so much.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Yeah.
much, sir. It's been so lovely having you. All the things that we've learned, we'll try and put all of them into practice.
It's very
So
important.
please,
Please apply things. Thank you.
yes, we will. Please
Yeah.
follow Mr. Scott on all his social media platforms, as he said. And also follow Truth Sprout Africa. We are on
Please.
Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Okay. Thank you very much. It's nice having you on today's webinar. Thank you to everyone who has attended. Thank you so much. We know you've learned a lot. So like Mr. Scott said,